Mr. Cesar.
How you doing, bro? How you doing?
How you doing?
Doing great,
So,
bro.
go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, Cesar GARCIA, founder and CEO of Tank Athletic, fitness fashion brand out of LA, and out here chopping it up with Jerry, my man. My man, yes, sir.
So, I do want to start it off because I was super curious of why, okay? Why Tank? Why a clothing brand? I know a lot of young people have a lot of options. It could be Shopify, e-commerce, whatever. Why a clothing brand?
So I think clothing, there's different ways that you could look at it. For me, when I started off, it was for no other reason other than I wanted something of our own. Right. Me and my buddy, we wanted something of our own, something that we could wear at the gym, wear out, and it's like unique and it's us. You know, it's what we want. It's not Nike, it's not Adidas, it's not any of those other brands. It's something that we create, even if it's whack, even if it's not popular, just something of our own. That was the original idea. And I had no business attitude behind it at all. Although I come from a business background, I didn't want it to be a business. I kind of hoped it wouldn't be a business because of the headaches that I heard this industry could be. I'm like not praying, but I was hoping that it wouldn't pop off, you know? But shit happens, sometimes for the better, and here we are, you know? But it wasn't me wanting fashion specifically. It wasn't me being someone that always wanted to be a fashion icon or someone that would influence the world on the fashion side or anything like that. It kind of just fell on me in my life like a ring falls on a finger, you know, like the saying.
Damn, dude. And then how long have you been in the clothing business?
Yeah, so it's been about 4 years.
4 years?
It's been a long journey for sure. I started off not knowing anything about clothing, anything about apparel, fabric, garments, manufacturing, e-commerce. I didn't know anything about that. Okay. And I viewed it as a hobby at first, something that I just wanted to progressively improve in. And then it eventually turned into a business and it got serious. And then I became a student of the business and a student of the game. And I started learning about the fashion industry. I started learning about garments and fabrics and apparel and different niches and then different audiences and then e-commerce. And you start seeing that it's a massive ass industry. So then I decided to plant my flag into it and then rock and roll, you know, and push the needle more forward than ever.
Right. Damn, dude. And what would you say which year was the most, I guess, influential year for you?
So influential, I think that's a kind of a tricky question because I feel like every year gives you something.
Right.
Every year has its theme. You know, for every new level, there's a saying, for every new level, there's a new devil. Right. I don't know if you ever heard that before. And every single year, for me at least, it was, I would level up in an area just to get slapped in the face in a new area. And it was just like being exposed. That's what business does, is being an entrepreneur exposes you. It exposes your weaknesses to yourself at first. And if you're someone that doesn't have the grit to stick it out, you know, like I was telling you off camera, most people bitch out in the first year just off of that fact alone. But I would say the first year was cool because it was a little bit of a combination of right timing, right? So timing is also very important in business and entrepreneurship, the economy, the world, the industry. It was post-COVID, or during COVID, you know, late 2020. People had money to spend because of EDD. People were getting paid to sit at home and they were being reckless with their money. Right. So, you know, they had, you know, $80 to $100 to just throw at clothes that's brand new, that was made by me. Would it be 2021 or 2022? Would the same outcome happen? I don't know. You know, maybe I would have figured it out in another way, but that for sure influenced it. The second year, I think, was the biggest slap that I ever had in this business, and that's where I really started to realize that I sucked at that moment. I really didn't know what I was doing. The momentum and the luck of any initial entrepreneur or any initial business started to die out. Because you start your business, you have people that will support you. Even if you suck at what you do or if your product or service isn't that good, people will support you. But that fizzles out after like 12 to 18 months. You run out of it. In the business and sales world, they call it warm market. Warm market is the people that know you, they trust you, they don't really care if they get anything in return. Once that runs out, you have to go cold market. And that's what, you know, we were talking off camera about that. That's where it gets challenging for a lot of people because you got to go introduce yourself to strangers and pitch them your service or your product. And not only that, make them happy, deliver, fulfill the awesome service, awesome product, and then rinse and repeat and continue to evolve, right? So that second year was the first time I had to face that within the clothing business. And it was really challenging. I remember I had one drop specifically where I had my buddy Danny, shout out Danny Lopez. Shout out Danny. Me and him were just sitting there and we wanted to cry. Like literally, like we laugh about it now, but it was like, we made $5,000 worth of inventory and like it didn't sell. Like that first like month, we literally moved like $500 worth, and we're just like, what the fuck? What are we doing wrong? And now looking back, I could literally pinpoint it to a science as to what we did wrong. Like I know exactly what went wrong, but that's hindsight. What's the saying? Hindsight is always 20/20.
Right.
It's clear now, you know? The second year was the most humbling year and the most difficult year. I would say that's where most people would have quit in my position. The third year was a regaining of momentum. Mm-hmm. So we got the momentum back. Momentum, super important in business. I think it's one of the most underrated concepts in the business world. Right. We regained it and we started to double down and push. And then that pushed us into a great fourth year or third year, which is where we ended last year. And from there, you know, no looking back. At that point, I feel like the machine is at a point where it can't be turned off. Mm. And then you just, at that point, you're just a driver and you're just a captain of the ship. Yeah, and now it's your role to navigate the ship the right way, but the engine is on and it's working, you know? So at that point, you know, something might pop off in the engine, but you don't need an engine overhaul. You just need a small carburetor adjustment. You need an oil change. You need an alignment or something, you know?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest trouble for new entrepreneurs coming in, because I mean, it's barely like what, my third month, mm-hmm. and the engine, I don't think I've built that yet.
Okay.
And a lot of people haven't built that engine yet. So as they get into mechanical problems with the car, they're like, fuck, I need a whole new engine. Yeah. You know? And so they're just lost in what I got to do to actually build it. And then it's demotivating, bro. Like I had weeks where I had, you know, depression, doubts and all that. Just whole reasons just shut down the whole business and just get another job. Okay. So I think that's the troubles that new people
been there,
get into, man.
Been there, done that, bro.
It sucks.
I've had to drive DoorDash, Uber Eats, just to have some type of money coming in. I think everyone goes through it, and anyone that says that they don't go through it, I always say their time will come. You know, every entrepreneur has to have that humbling moment because it's not easy being successful. Right. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not easy creating something that means something in this world and that can be monetized far beyond your dreams. It's not supposed to be microwaved, you know? Now, you said you've been 3 months into your journey, right? Right. What would you say the expectation was to establishing that base, establishing that engine? How quickly did you expect to have that engine off and running?
So, I guess maybe I was a little delusional. I thought within a month, I could already have systems. I could already have, you know, recurring payments. I could have just an overall brand already established. And so then it's just clockwork. Boom, 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 boom. I'm doing it. And little by little, like I've gone roadblocks where I was like, oh, I actually don't know about this, and I don't know about that, and I don't know about this. And each roadblock that I'd hit, it hit me hard. Okay. Because as I would get into these new things with high expectations, it would just slap me in the face like, bro, stop. You don't know about this, you gotta learn. Yeah. And I've started to notice that I'm a very impatient person. Okay. Patience is a really hard thing for me. So as I'm getting into these new things like taxes and money management and how to put my time here instead of here, it's a learning curve. So that's like the hardest thing for me.
I like it. And because you're in the game. You're in the game, bro. Most people, look, the way that I look at it is you should feel grateful that you're even in the game. Right. Although in your head you're not winning, in your head it feels like you're losing, right? Just off of the fact that 99% of people never even get to experience that like adrenaline and that euphoria of being in the game. Business is a lot like sports. I've learned that. I love referencing sports because everything, in my opinion, It's all connected. Right now, you're like, what's your favorite sport?
Soccer.
Okay, so you're the best example that I can think of with you is that you're on the team. You're a player. You're on the roster, and you're in game uniform. You might not get starting minutes, but every once in a while you're getting subbed in.
Right.
You're getting subbed in, and then it might not be the best 15, 20 minutes that you would have envisioned, but you're still in the fucking game.
Right.
And you're still on the team. And then, the difference between business and sports is that sports, it runs out. There's a ticking time clock.
Yeah.
And, they got, if they're lucky, 8 to 10 years, you have the rest of your life, There is no going back. You don't have a time clock where you're fucking 32 years old and that's it. Like, all right, time to wrap it up. Let's go figure out what we're gonna do. You have the rest of your life to figure it out, So what I would say is gratitude for sure. Like, it's like fun, bro. Like I find myself oftentimes missing the tough moments, missing the driving DoorDash and like feeling like shit and just like not being able to even have $200 in my bank account to my name. Like, I kind of miss those times a little bit because you have nothing to lose. And the saying, it's cliche, but they say, once you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go. But it's true. So I would say, number one mistake that I think a lot of entrepreneurs make for the first time, people that are trying to accomplish anything in their life, is delusion is okay, but you want to turn that delusion into optimism. And you want to back the optimism with actual routine that works. Now, this is the thing. Actual routine that works. That's a fucking blank canvas. I don't know what that means for you
Right.
or for your industry. So you got to find that. But it's going to take you 2 years to find that.
Yeah.
But once you have that, though, then it's just time.
Yeah, I know at 19, me thinking, okay, my routine should be I wake up and I meditate and I read a book and then I do a cold plunge. That would get me rich, right? And now that I'm, I just wake up, I work, and that's it.
Okay.
There's no
Yeah.
like beginning, there's no like, oh, I need to do this meditation thing or whatever, because as, watching YouTube for, inspiration and all that, I think my biggest flaw was looking for motivation and not actually sticking to a plan. So once it got hard,
Yeah.
strived away from it.
Okay.
And so as I would get this temporary motivation from a video or maybe this book I read, I'd be like, okay, let's go. And I see the roadblock, boom, get me off course.
So that's completely normal, I would say. I think everyone experiences that. I experienced that in many ways. I think when you can realize that it's not going to be perfect,
Right.
when you can realize that success, and then if we're going to go a little bit deeper, financial success, because success is relative. Like that person might be successful to me, but they might not feel successful to themselves or to the outside world. So it's relative depending on the definition that one has. But monetary success, though, making money in business, the biggest misconception that I see today's world, and I blame it on hustle culture 1,000%. Because see, I got into the motivation hustle culture space before it was cool. So like I've been following these motivational pages on YouTube and Instagram since like 2015.
Oh, damn.
This is before it is what it is now. And like I'm talking about like these like memes and these like posts were corny. Like they were corny as hell. Like it would say a motivational quote and it would have some guy like in a suit, like in the background, like opacity level low.
Yeah.
And it'll say some shit like, when building a team, you can only focus on the winners, not the losers. Like some stupid shit like that. Like that's when I got into it. And it is very confusing because you start to think that to make money, you have to be the prestigious person. You have to be this icon or this individual that's like fucking unshakable. Wake up at 4 a.m., cold plunge, have your morning coffee, reply to emails at 7:30, make your calls right here, work out, have a perfect diet, do this, do that, fucking accomplish this by the day. You don't go to sleep till 8, 9 p.m. and then rinse and repeat, right? And you do this 6 days a week, and it's like I don't even sleep. You see a lot of right now it gets a lot of shit, right? A lot of people are pushing back towards the hustle culture because it's really corny. Like, what do you mean you don't sleep? Like,
It's not a flex anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
people just be like, well, I got 4 hours of sleep. I was like, all right, that's an unhealthy way of regenerating your energy for tomorrow.
Like, why are you bragging about that, you know? So I think what it comes down to, bro, is understanding what moves the needle for your industry. So for example, in my industry, every time a shirt is sold, I make money. So like, it doesn't matter if I'm shaking someone's hand, if I'm talking to someone, if I'm posting on Instagram, if we're launching a new product, if we're doing a video, if no one buys, like the base of it is the purchase.
Right.
So I need to focus on what? The purchase.
Right.
Now, does the other stuff that I mentioned influence the volume of purchase? Does it influence the probability of purchase? Absolutely. So you have to focus on the things that matter, right? There's a saying, don't major in minor things, right? A lot of people are distracted by things that don't fucking matter in their business, you know? I know people, I swear to God, that wake up at 1 p.m. They're fucking lazy. Like when it comes to like the whole like go to the gym shit and like wake up early and eat healthy, like I'm talking about these people they eat out every single day. They don't eat healthy. They're waking up late. They're going to sleep super late. They don't start work till like 5 p.m. and they're not going to sleep till like 4 a.m. So they're more like night owls. Right. But they're making multiple 6 figures in revenue. So the point is that like that works for them because they understand and they're doing what makes them money. Now, whether that's efficient and whether if they were to do other things, could they make more? That's a different conversation, right? So I think a big wake-up call for young and first-time entrepreneurs is, do you want to be a business person or do you want to look like a business person?
Right.
Those are two very different things, you know? So I'm not sure if that answers your question specifically.
Yeah, so that's where I got lost. I would compare myself to, okay, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. I'm eating right, I'm doing this, I'm running, I'm in decent shape. And now see these guys who are obese, this and this, but they're making money.
Yeah.
They're doing the business side. They're not, acting like they're some, let's say like Iman Ghazi,
Yeah.
They're just doing the work. And that's
Agitate.
something that I wasn't doing. I wasn't actually doing the work.
Yeah.
I was just pretending like I was.
Yeah.
And in my head, it seemed like productivity.
Right.
But instead, I was just wasting my time.
That's what I love. So sales, I recommend anyone that's stuck, just get in sales. Ask questions later, just get in sales. If you have nowhere to go. If you have somewhere to go, then do that. But in sales, there was a saying, right? Because I come from sales prior to starting this business. So that obviously helped a lot. They would say, don't confuse activity for results. Those are two very different things. Because you could work your ass off all day with activity, but it's like I said, was there any result delivered? Was there any transactions being done? Right. Which is another like side conversation as to why I think the whole 9 to 5 and like the society that's like used to like being an employee and that relationship with their employer, like it's fucked up. And like I personally hate it. I can even get controversial with it. I don't want to, but or I won't. But it's like people think that money follows like time. Oh, if I do 5 hours of work, I should be able to make X compared off of whatever the market rate is. Like right now, minimum wage is what? Let's just say $20. So people are already calculating like, if I put in 5 hours of work, I need to bring in at least $100. If not, it's not what? Worth it. It's not worth it. And that's where I say, like I told you off camera, when you're starting off, you're donating a lot of your time, but you're doing it with a good attitude and a good energy because at the end of the day, you're building towards tomorrow. You're building that engine. Money does not follow time at all. Like I said, I know people that don't work at all, but they make hundreds of thousands of dollars because they figured out how to deliver that result nonstop. And then I know people that are the hardest fucking workers in the room. Like these guys will wake up at 4 a.m. and they will not go to sleep until 11, but they're making very little and they're broke and they're struggling. It's because they're working hard, they're not working smart. So, I believe in doing both. I believe in working hard and working smart, but if I'm gonna pick one over the other, for sure working smart. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a point. It's like, okay, I'm getting into entrepreneurship and I'm not getting paid by the hourly and I figure that out, then that 9 to 5 is a comfort.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you have like a whole week of saying, okay, I'm working 8 hours, but I haven't got paid anything. But if I go over here, work 8 hours, I'm at least gonna get, a paycheck.
Yeah.
So I think that getting rid of that comfort is very hard to people.
It is.
And it was very hard on me,
It's
especially
difficult.
when I was like 18,
Yeah,
19, because I was
absolutely.
so used to a consistent pay.
Yeah.
And then once I had bills, insurance,
Yeah.
phone bill, like
Yeah.
it's hard to give up that
Yeah.
security.
A safety net.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you feel like right now you are getting closer towards that? Or is it, because this is the truth of the matter as well. I think right now we're living in a time where it's expensive to even exist.
Oh, dude, it's so
It's expensive to even
Bro,
live. Like leaving the house, I saw a meme that was like, "Oh, leaving the house damn near costs $100, like just to leave the house." You know, so how do you feel like that's been? How has that played a role in this journey for you so far?
So as I'm getting more into sales, I'm getting that point of viewing, okay, is it actually getting results in what you're putting your time in? So I've noticed, which is crazy, if I put in the work and if I work smart, I'll get paid,
Okay.
right? So now I'm, working smarter, I'm building systems, I'm making sure that I'm doing the things that are going to get me paid instead of doing the things that I thought would be productive before.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm getting to a point where I'm not itching for food, I'm not itching
Solid.
for this and that.
That's good.
And it's sort of like I'm printing out money out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I used to have a very different mindset when it came to money. I didn't think getting rich was a plan. I thought it just happens out of luck.
Yeah.
So I would be like, man, I'm gonna be
love
rich
that.
one day.
Yeah.
But I never had a plan.
Yeah.
And anybody that I want to talk to, I'd be like, are you gonna be rich one day? I'm gonna be rich one day with
Yeah.
no plan.
Yeah.
So again, it's like my delusion of wishing and wishing, but not really having a plan to execute.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing's by accident. That's what
Right.
I've learned. People are not successful by accident. It's years upon years of consistency and having a plan, and plans, whether it's a business plan or a routine, because at the end of the day, a routine is a plan, right?
Right.
Whatever it is, that all is drops to a bucket. All that does is accumulate drops in a bucket. And once you figure out what drops need to be put in that bucket, it's literally like automatic at that point. Like you're kind of like on autopilot. Like me right now, like I feel like we're kind of on autopilot with where we are in the business. Like I already know how to go do 25, 30, 40K a month in sales. Like that's already, the engine that I have right now can output that.
That's average. That's
You
already,
get me? Yeah. My headache is like, how do I scale this from that to 100K a month? That's where it's like, all right, I need to upgrade my engine. So I do need an engine overhaul to get to that
Right.
vision, But since I know exactly where I want to go, then I have clarity off of what it is that I need. So then I start breaking down the engine. Okay, well, is the product itself good? Yes. Do we have the right systems in order to fulfill that amount of orders? Yes. Okay. So what are we missing then? More exposure, more marketing, more sales, more conversion. How's our website? Can we optimize it to get a higher conversion rate? On and on. You get what I'm saying? So you start really understanding where you're positioned, and at the end of the day, it's like a treasure map, and it's fun. It becomes a game. You're like, all right, I'm making progress, but I'm missing this. This is my challenge for this.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've noticed as I grew more revenue or just even more work, I have this missing.
Yeah.
I have this lacking.
Yeah.
And I just got to fix these before I get it to the next level.
Absolutely.
And you said you're going to reach, the 100K mark. 10K, I can't even fathom.
Yeah.
And most people can't even fathom how they do it. Once I reach 1K,
Yeah.
then 5K is more
Yeah.
approachable, but that's insane, dude. I
I
can't.
would say hurry up and get to 10K because it's a myth. Like it's like there was like a little saying for it that I forgot. But it's pretty much the more you idolize a number, the more it subconsciously intimidates you and you start thinking that it's a big deal. I, for the longest, had 100K as that number, and 100K in a year. Like I used to think like 100K, 6 figures, is prestigious. Like damn, like 6 figures. Like I even knew like that's $8,333 a month. Like damn, that's like I had it broken down to like how much I need to make a day. And which is a little bit less than 300, by the way. If you want to number check me on that, but
I think it's like 265.
yeah, and like that's cool. You should know that. Like I'm not saying don't know that. But what that did is it made me think that it was like this prestigious amount. And would you be surprised that when we hit 100K in a year for the first time, I did it like passing by? Like I didn't, if it was like a road, I didn't stop there and like celebrate 100K. We like fucking ran right through it. Yeah, we literally drove right past it.
Damn.
Because I changed my focus. And then I look at it and I'm like, damn, we just fucking blew by 100K, like shit. And it's true. The more you idolize stuff, the more it intimidates you subconsciously. I would say most entrepreneurs have that, you know, especially people that haven't broken that barrier. It's like a roadblock for anyone else, a plateau. You got to go leveling up, and every level is going to require a new version of you, right? So for sure, like that should be one of your top goals, is like break that like 10K mark like fast. Even if you do 9,500, you didn't hit 10K, but you're right there. Like I won't be mad at you if you miss it by 5%, and I'm sure you won't be mad at you either, you know? So it's like numbers, it's all an illusion at the end of the day, you know? But numbers don't lie. So, you know, it has to be a fair balance as well. But yeah, I would say for sure have your numbers in order, have your goals in order, and make sure that you're running towards it and not taking your time.
Yeah. Damn, dude.
Yeah, bro.
It's a lot of
It's overwhelming, bro. And then you're still really early in the journey too.
Right.
Three months is still early, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I would say, so I'm gonna tell you like what I would tell like my little cousin, for example. Right now, survival phase for sure, like hands down. Like first 12 to 18 months, it's like just don't quit. Like just don't quit. Don't go die. Don't like get in crazy amounts of debt. Don't burn any bridges, and just look at it like a learning experience at the end of the day, you know? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's why right now when I said like hurry up and get to 10K, like yes and no, right? Once you see that it's like, all right, I have a legit business, like I have a serious business, like this is like, I'm planting my flag here, because like, would you say that you're there already? Like you want to plant your flag in this, okay.
For sure.
Then that's when you start getting crystal clear on what it's gonna take to get to 5K a month. And then once you figure out 5K, then it's like, all right, I just need to 2x that. Is that doable? Is it within striking distance? And then you start doubling down like that. I used to think that businesses get built very like linear and consistently. I used to think that one year you do 100K, the next year you do 130, the next year you do 170, the next year you do 220, and it's like a slow climb. And I learned fairly recently that the big businesses, they duplicate fast. They double, triple, quadruple year by year. And a lot of these people that are worth millions, that are running, you know, 50, 60, 70 million dollar companies, they do not view it as growing slowly. They're thinking, how the fuck do we 3x this year? We did 20 million this year. What do we need to do 60 million this year? So I started thinking, all right, I need to at least double. This was my mindset from 2022 to 2023. And I just dialed in on that. And what happened was we 4x'd our revenue that year alone. So it works, you know, it works. And it's, at the end of the day, it's commitment. And you go learning how to grow, what's important, what's not important, and then just getting to the next goal. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think as I not perfect, but get better in my systems, I think that number of, you know, more revenue and all that kind of scares me. As I project, okay, I'm gonna be making 5K this month. In order to do that, I have to do, you know, sales or this and that, but there's a certain feeling in my gut that's like, I don't think I'm worthy, or it's like a fear, like I don't wanna do it, yet you know you can do it, you know? And it's like a barrier that I'm trying to get over, especially with sales, because it's so hard, man. I find it very difficult to project my value into others. So when it happens, I just kind of stutter and.
Okay, so what you have is called imposter syndrome.
Right.
Everyone has that. I promise you, everyone. I don't give a fuck how successful someone is. I promise you, there is something that they are insecure about. It's completely normal. The true challenge is beating that and combating that. So I would say, you mentioned, and you mentioned this to me off camera as well, that the value that you provide for customers, it's still a little bit challenging to like close the deal and like ask for money, because you still question whether it's worth the amount that you're charging, right? So that's the real root of the problem right there, is you're questioning your value, right? So what I learned early on is something called over deliver on value. So if you're charging someone, let's say $500 for a service, go all out, give them $1,000 worth of service, and like obliterate, like completely like fucking destroy the doubt in your head of whether it was worth it for them or not. Because when you do that 10 out of 10 times, you're gonna know deep down in your head, it was way more than fucking worth it. They should be thanking me. That's gonna be your mindset now.
They got a deal, you know?
So once you start doing that, what happens is you start talking to new prospects, new potential clients. You start viewing it as, if they're able to secure you, or they're able to get you to help them out with your service, they're lucky. And if they don't, they're fucking missing out on a big opportunity. And you start to feel bad for them. In your head, you're like, fuck, dude, like, I feel bad for this guy. If he doesn't get me as his video guy, damn, that's gonna fucking suck for him. Like, his business is not gonna blow up. If he doesn't get me as his video guy, damn, they're gonna keep putting out whack ass content, bro. Fuck. Kind of feel sorry for the guy. Here, let me help him out. You start having that mindset, and it's like that, bro. Because this is the thing, your clients and your customers can feel your energy.
Right.
They can feel how you feel about what you're about to give them. You have to stand on your rock, and you have to be willing to die on your mountain. So it's like, dude, if you know my service is $500, I'm giving you over $1,000 worth of value, because I know damn well if you go to any other videographer in Los Angeles, those motherfuckers are gonna charge you $2K and up. I'm only gonna charge you $700, $500, whatever the number is, but I'm gonna over deliver for you, I promise you. Like, this shit, you will not regret it, and you're gonna see it fast. From there, it's gonna convert.
Yep.
But it's gonna take time to build that confidence.
Right.
So you gotta practice towards it.
Yeah,
You
and
get
then
me?
when I finish, projects for clients, and they tell me, this was the best video I ever made for my business and everything.
Yeah.
I don't believe it, Like, in my head, I'm like, come on. Like, I'm pretty sure you probably had a different videographer that did a better video. But no, it's genuine. And I don't know how to accept that and have it as my identity. Like, I am a good marketer.
Yeah.
I am a good business guy.
Yeah.
I still have the, oh no, I'm shy, or I started this time, or maybe I fucked up on this angle and I couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
That still plays in my head over and over again, and kind of diminishes my confidence going into this.
Yeah. So I think it's important to understand too that every single product, every single one, product or service has its imperfections.
Right.
There's no such thing as a perfect, just like there's no such thing as a perfect human, right? You have Nike, the biggest conglomerate of fitness apparel. They have merch that gets done wrong, like defective merch that they end up selling to Ross. And then people like fucking jump at it at Ross to buy it for 25, 30% off just because it has what? Nike, the branding on it. Even though Nike's like, we can't fucking sell that. We can't fucking put that up on our store.
Right.
Fucking liquidate it to fucking 5% on the dollar to Ross. And then Ross is gonna flip that. So I think that it's gonna take time. Building confidence takes time. Building faith in yourself, that's self-trust. Like, like, all right, I'm gonna take on this big ass client. I'm not gonna fuck it up. Cause see, this is the thing, is right now if you were to get an offer to do like one big ass client, let's say a big ass client, and they're like ready to give you like 50K in a year, do you feel like you would not hesitate, but do you feel like you'd have some doubts in the back of your head of fumbling that?
100%.
And that's
Currently,
completely
yes.
normal. Yeah, I would feel the same way, bro. If Dick's Sporting Goods hit me up tomorrow and was like, hey, we want to carry Tank Athletic in all of our dicks, I would be like, fuck, can I do that? Like, I would start to convince myself why it's not worth it for me. I would start to mentally be like, nah, we'd make more money without them, which could be true, could not be true, but you see how the psychology starts to play a role in like what actually gets done,
Right.
The self-sabotaging aspect. So how do you build confidence is 1, with time, 2, with results. So I think that's gonna get better as time progresses. 3 months is too early to be able to fucking have your chest puffing out,
Right.
There's some people that naturally have that, like, I call it arrogance, and it is arrogance because they have no track record, but they're puffing their chest. So to me, that is cocky, And then there's other people that it's gonna take a little bit longer to develop that confidence. But once you develop that, dude, and like, Like my buddy that I was telling you about, that's a digital marketer. He has a similar personality to you. You remind me of him. You guys have a similar like energy, you know. He's like an introvert, you know. He doesn't like sales, but he loves marketing, you know.
Right.
I would tell him for the longest, dude, you're way too humble. Like you are way too humble. Like you would kick 99% of all these other marketers' ass. Like I would send them TikToks of marketing videos, and I'd be like, "What do you think?" And he'd be like, "Dude, that guy does not know what the fuck he's talking about." And he would break it down, and he's right. Like, you know, as someone that's an operator in business, we can see directly, like, all right, is this guy just fucking saying shit because he read it in a book, or is he actually like saying this off of experience? And my buddy actually has experience. I would tell him, dude, you gotta demand more respect from yourself first. You gotta put your foot down in the world, because, you know, you follow me on my personal Instagram. I posted this yesterday. You're not gonna get where you want to in life without pushing the agenda and by playing too nice. It's just not gonna happen. You have to force your way into the room. You have to get your foot in the door and fucking stomp your feet and say, hey, my name is fucking Jerry. This is what I do. Let's make a deal. And like, it sounds corny, but it's like, it's all a mental thing at the end of the day, bro. Yeah. And if you're able to overcome the self-doubt, who cares if you lose a client here and there? Who cares if one guy here or there is like, I overpaid for Jerry's video? Like, who cares, bro? Because you're gonna have 95% of customers that are happy, and then you're gonna be very, very fucking proud of yourself, and you're gonna have that self-respect to continue to double down. Now you know your service is good enough. Now you can put some real marketing behind it. Now you can scale it, and now that's where it gets fun, you know? I feel like that's where I'm at with the brand. It's like, all right, we got past the whole like 2 to 3 year bullshit that everyone goes through. Once you survive that, it's an open ocean, bro. It's like, damn, do we want to go that way or do we want to go that way? But the choice is yours, right. You know?
How long did it take you to get rid of that imposter syndrome?
Dude,
like
to this day, I still have some.
Really?
I don't think you ever get rid of it. What I think is you start learning how to combat it. So I heard one time someone that I look up to said, everyone has doubts in their head. The difference is some people know how to doubt their doubts. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, doubt your doubts? Like, damn. So whenever I start to doubt myself, I challenge that. Like, in my head, I'm like, nah, like, that's my brain and my psychology and all of my years of bullshit and immaturity and things that I fucked up on that I still have in the back of my head. That's stuff coming back to haunt me psychologically. But I don't believe it, because it's not fair to judge the Cesar from today to judge him compared to the Cesar from 5 years ago.
Right.
That's not the same guy. It's not even fair. Dude, this Cesar would fucking whoop his ass all day. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you evolve month to month, week to week. Comparing the Jerry from right now to the Jerry that I met 6 months ago, it's not fair. You're kicking that guy's ass all day. So it's the same thing, bro. Like, the imposter syndrome, the self-doubt never goes away. What improves is you learn how to beat it, and you learn how to not let it stop you. You get me?
Yeah, I heard this quote. It was, if no one had fear, no one could be courageous, you know? Like, it's courage, right? It's fear that builds courage.
Absolutely.
Without fear, then you're just, what, psychopathic?
Yeah. I mean, hey, some people, bro. Huh? Some people are fucking lunatics, bro. And some of them are the ones that have changed the world, which is crazy. Crazy to think about, bro. But the mental, the psychology plays such a huge role in how the world has changed and what the world is today. You know, sometimes I think about, like you mentioned delusion earlier. Sometimes it's good to be delusional. Sometimes, if you think about it, like the people that have changed the world, like Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, at one point, they were fucking delusional. They were laughed at. And look at what they did in the world after. My favorite one, or one of my favorite ones that I look at, is Dana White, the owner or the CEO of UFC. You know, he sold it, so I don't even want to say owner anymore. But he's still like the president, CEO. But that guy's story is legit. How he turned the UFC and the MMA sport into what it is now, and like no one would have fucking bet on him. But he always knew, this is what the fuck I'm doing, and I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm willing to die on this shit. Like, it's either this or fucking send the flowers, because I'm gonna die trying, you know? Yeah. So you get to that point, bro, and then your back is against the wall, you have no option. I feel like I'm in that situation right now. Like, for me, it's like either this becomes a $100 million company or I die. because I'm not gonna stop until the day comes.
Right.
So like the day might come where, and I don't want to say it, words are powerful, but like, what if like it just doesn't happen, but I keep trying? Eventually I'm gonna die trying. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that has to be the mindset. Like, failure is not an option. Failure is a stepping stone during the process, but it's not an end game.
Right.
You get me? So I know I went hella
Nah, you're good. You're good. You're
mental
good.
on that shit, but
No, yeah, it's like the best version of life that you can live. Because I know, yeah, I've struggled like heavily in these few months, but it's the most I've been alive.
it's fun, bro.
It's
I believe
crazy.
you. I believe you because you don't know what it's like until you fucking take that leap of faith, bro. And you don't know what it's like until like you have this like feeling of opportunity. Like, damn, like what if? What if?
Which
I could?
everybody has, by the way.
Yes.
Like everyone has that feeling of
Yeah.
there's something more.
Yeah.
But there are only a few people are actually
Yeah.
taking that
And
leap.
it's like, it's honestly like a drug, to be honest. I remember the first times that I started feeling that like burning desire. Napoleon Hill, you've heard of the book Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah.
He talks about to be successful, you have to have a burning desire. And like, it's the thing that gives you butterflies. Like, you think about like what you can be one day, what you can accomplish. And if it doesn't make your like knees buckle a little bit or like your legs a little bit wobbly, then maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's not your purpose. What I'm saying is maybe it's not your purpose, you know?
Right.
I remember those first feelings of being awake, staring at the ceiling at night till like 3 or 4 a.m., just imagining like what my life can be. Like, you're telling me that I can accomplish this? You're telling me that my brand could one day be up there with all the other brands, selling hundreds of millions a year? And it's like, who is to say we can't do that? Like, why not us? Like, why? Like, what is it? Like, what the fuck do these other brands have that we don't have? Literally, anything that they have, we can get. Like, I'm talking about in terms of resources. Like, they have nothing special. They're not, God didn't come in and say, hey, you guys yes and you guys no. That's not how it is. And I'm fully convinced of that. So now it's like, all right, now what do I got to do to get to that level? And I'm going to make it my fucking mission to get to that level. You get me? So it's the same with you, bro. That burning desire is just like in there. You feel alive. You feel the euphoria. Euphoria. I love the term because it's like that mental like high. Like, it's like that feeling of like adrenaline. Like,
yeah, if I didn't get that feeling, I don't think I would even continue another month, you know?
Yep, honestly.
And then there was this time where completely broke, no money, no nothing. And then I had a credit card bill to pay. I had to fill up my tank. And then I posted a video on Vsauce, which is like a little promotion video, and then one for my personal. And I was like, I'm done. Like, my credit score is gonna drop.
Yeah.
My gas tank's not full. I can't pay gas. You know, I can't help my mom. And I was just defeat.
Yeah.
And then, dude, it was crazy. Within the first 30 minutes of posting that video, I got a $300 music video out of nowhere. He was like, bro, we need you. Last minute, it's at the house. Like, can you come? Fuck yeah, I can fucking come. I go and I film it, $300. I pay everything I need to pay off. I have extra money to get some like groceries.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy.
Yeah.
It was like, damn, I could breathe now.
Yeah.
But it was like an
get you.
addictive feeling, dude.
Now let me tell you this. What if that video wouldn't have came?
I would
You want
have
me
been.
to tell you something? You would have been okay. You would have been okay, bro.
I know.
You would have been okay. That's what I've learned, bro. Because anxiety plays a big role in entrepreneurship. You fear the other side. You fear tomorrow because of the what if, because of the dark room. Like, what if my credit card is due and I can't pay it? I've learned it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, bro. This country, bro, you're not gonna starve. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna nothing's gonna happen, bro. Yeah, your credit might go down. You might go bankrupt. You might fucking get your car repoed. That might happen. It's just gonna add to the story, bro, and it's gonna make you stronger. Like, I really believe that. You have nothing to lose, bro. Like, honestly, you have nothing to lose. Like, you have the world to gain and experiences to gain, but they're not really losses, bro. Everyone that I know that is successful has had those hiccups, bro. Because what happens, bro, is you start waiting for a miracle.
Yeah.
You start waiting for it. And I tell people, like, people that are into faith, they say expect a miracle. That's a big saying within like the faith type of ideology. But like, what happens if it's not for you though? Like, that exact miracle. Like, we're not God. We don't know what the miracle is. So you can't like predict it. What if that miracle wouldn't have came?
Yeah.
What if it came that time, but it doesn't come 6 months down the road?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like, don't let it be your boogeyman, because then fear paralyzes you,
Yep,
and then you start being stiff with how you're moving day to day. You got to be relaxed, and you got to know that no matter what, you're gonna be okay. And with that being in mind, let's go fucking conquer the world. Like, we're gonna be okay, but let's go fucking be someone.
If you're alive.
Yeah, point blank, bro. That's how I view it, bro. And it's ever since I started viewing it like that, because I wasn't always the way that I am right now. Right now, like, you know, people like, you know, I know I can come off as like confident. I can come off as like fucking wanting to conquer everything, you know, aggressive, like fucking bold. But I wasn't always like that. I learned, you know, and I've had my fair share. Like the reason I brought up the whole what if it wouldn't have came is because I experienced that. I know what it's like to go through what you're going through, but that $300 client never showed up. And I woke up the next morning and I had to live through it. You go through life, bro, but you realize that you actually grow through life. You start to realize that, bro. No matter what happens, even if it's good or bad, you're gonna grow through it. It's all part of the process, bro. It's all part of being the better you tomorrow. You get me? So I would say, bro, don't worry. Don't let shit like that paralyze you, bro. Like, you know, it makes a dope story, but like, don't. Yeah. Add it to the story, bro. But don't let it be your saving grace. You get what I'm saying? Because you are talent. You're too talented for that. You're too talented to be like the person waiting for that like moment. Of course. You already have the moments in you, bro. You already got it, bro. It's just a matter of doing it and letting time play its course. You get me?
Right. Yeah, and a lot of people have been calling me lucky, but I have a certain like way of looking at it. The more work I actually do, the luckier I get. Absolutely.
You know the definition of luck? What the quote is, when preparation meets opportunity.
Exactly.
You know, so the only way to know, I always tell people, there's only one way to find out. That's like one of my favorite saying. Only one way to find out. Hey, Cesar, are we going to make $1 million next year? It's only one way to find out. You know, hey, are we going to fucking do anything? Only one way to find out. Yeah. Is VerSource going to make $500K next year? Hey. Only one way to find out, bro. Are you going to be able to get 10 clients next month? Right. Only one way to find out. Go find out. Show up and you'll find out. You know, but the prerequisite is what? Showing up.
Showing up, doing the work.
There's one way to guarantee that you won't get it, and that's not showing up. So might as well just show up and enjoy the ride, you know? That's what I tell people. If you quit, like if you say, all right, I'm done with this shit, let me go get a 9 to 5, that's you retiring from the game.
That's failure.
That's you retiring from the sport. That's you, although you're not a starter, like I was explaining earlier, you said soccer's your favorite sport, that's you saying, that's it.
I'm out the team.
Take my card out. Like, I'm done. Instead of being there waiting for your moment, you might just well get subbed in and score your goal. You get me? So it's all mental, bro. If you can't tell, like by now, and I'm sure the viewers will tell by now, like, damn, this fucking guy goes so into like mentality and like fucking psychology and emotions and just like your mind, because without it, you have nothing, you know? And I've seen people that are less emotional, more logical, and a lot of them burn out. And then I've seen people that are less logical, more emotional, and a lot of them check out because they can't control their emotions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like, you gotta have a balance of both. You gotta have your emotions on check. If you weren't emotional, you wouldn't be feeling the feelings of euphoria that's calling you to go do more for tomorrow. So it's good that you have emotions. You gotta use them. You gotta use them as a blessing, as an asset. That's an asset, not a liability. But then if you weren't logical, you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't have the skills and the talent to have what you have. So now you gotta use that. Just don't overthink it.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was completely emotional as I started. And then, yeah, like in sales, if I messed up a sale, I would see it as failure. I didn't see it as learning.
Yeah.
You learn what not to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then until someone explained, hey, so what'd you learn? Like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, what'd you learn? Oh, I should approach it this way, not this way. Boom, you didn't fail. So do it again. There's
There's companies that spend millions of dollars a year to learn. Yeah. And it's just like, it looks like a burn. It looks like they're just burning money. Like they'll literally, like, for example, we're getting into like the ad space. We're trying to figure out our sweet spot for digital marketing, you know, how we're gonna run our campaigns, our funnels, you know, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel. I don't know if you know about like
Google
digital
ads.
Google, Facebook made ads. My buddy's telling me, who's my ad manager, he's telling me, he's like trying to preface it to me, these first few months might feel like you're wasting money. And I stopped him. I'm like, nah, bro, you don't even gotta go any further. We're not wasting money. We're learning to find the sweet spot. Because once we find that fucking sweet spot, game over. But to get to the sweet spot, we gotta fucking
You gotta
learn.
spend some money.
Yeah, you know. So that's what it is, bro. With anything, you know, with anything, not
It's all
just money.
testing.
Absolutely, bro.
I forgot who said it. I think it was Usain Bolt. He said, I trained, what was it, 4 years to run 9 seconds.
Yeah, literally. And imagine if he would have tripped in one of his training sessions and he's like, nah, running's not for me.
That shit hurt my knee.
Yeah, that scraped the fuck out of my knee. That's it, bro. Or what if he would have like torn his ACL or some shit, and then he's like, oh, running's for sure not for me. That's why I think it's important to really lock in on your purpose. And I tell young people all the time, you're in your early 20s, right?
Yeah.
I tell people, dude, the best thing you can do is live lean. Don't go get $200,000 in debt. Keep your expenses as low as possible so you can be fluid, you can be flexible, you're going to be quick, you can make movements and you could adapt quick. But lock in for 10 years. Like commit the next 10 years to figuring it out. And I don't know what that means, you know, every year is going to be different. You know, one year you might have an amazing year, the next year it might suck, you know. But if you commit for 10 years, you're not going to fail. Like there just ain't no way. Like there's no way in hell you commit 10 years and you're not going to have something to show for it.
Right.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that anyone.
When they actually do the work.
Yeah.
Each other first.
honestly, yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah, shout out to Jesse, because I know my spending habits were pretty ridiculous, especially for food.
Okay.
And now as you know, learning how to cook groceries.
Yeah.
Again, shout out to Jesse, because he would show me exactly what I was spending my money on, and it would hurt my soul.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I stopped, you know, spending
Yeah.
stupidly, I was focusing on just good food,
Yeah.
equipment, and just
Yeah.
business. Maybe some personal like gas or whatever. It's like, damn, I shouldn't be spending this much money.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I feel that, bro.
And from there, my bank account started building up, and I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Learning process, bro.
Yeah, man.
Learning process, man.
And then I also wanted to ask, for me, I don't have much, I view it this way. I don't have much to lose. I just have myself.
Okay.
My mom, I support her, my sister sometimes, but it's not a huge liability. And I know you have a family.
Yeah.
How do you even balance that, bro? I can barely balance myself. How do you even balance a family and a 6-figure business?
So it's funny because I had heard this before and I questioned it. I have a buddy who makes millions a year. Cool guy. He's one of my mentors. He's one of my mentors, though. You know, good friend of mine. But I like the fact that me and him are friends on a personal side, not really on a business side. It's almost kind of weird when we talk about money and business. We talk mainly about like mentality, spirituality, and just like personal shit, you know. And he had his daughter when he was 22. And at the time, he was making like $100K a year.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm thinking, you know, all right, well, then he's good then. But he had a couple of legal issues that were exposing him, and exposing that 100K was now going to dwindle down. You get me? So he wasn't as free as the eye thinks he is, like 100K. And he told me, dude, I just locked in, man. I started realizing what matters and what doesn't matter. I stopped taking meetings that I knew weren't money. I stopped doing shit that I knew wasn't business. That's simple. And he 4x'd his income. Damn. That the year that his girlfriend was pregnant, he 4x'd his income. He went from 100 to like 400, 450. So he tells me this when I found out that me and my girlfriend were having our son. And I was like, fuck, that's pretty fucking dope. But I don't know if it's gonna be like that for me.
Right.
But I took the mindset of there's only one way to find out. I took that mindset. I told myself, this is actually a cool story. I think that a lot of people can gain from it. At that time, we were doing about $4,000 a month in revenue with Tank, and that's a side business. That's not a real business in my opinion yet. Can't live off of that. because that's revenue, that's not profit. So that includes the cost of the goods manufactured, that includes expenses, like everything that you were mentioning earlier, it's expensive to run a business. So my mindset was, if I don't get this shit figured out by month number 4 of the pregnancy, I need to get a job. And I'll try my hardest to build this simultaneously. Although I know deep down inside, it's almost impossible to do that. It's almost impossible to grow something without giving it full attention. So I said, fuck it, and I went for it. And I had ACL surgery in month number 1 and number 2.
Damn.
So after month number 1, going to month number 2 is when I had my surgery. So that already took me out, like the first like 25% of that pregnancy is already like, there's no progress being made financially, so the pressure's on. I bounce back, I really, really lock in, and I say, I need to figure this out. If by April, we don't make at least 15K by April in sales, like I can say the business is doing 15K a month, I'm going to get the job. In April, we made 15.5. Yeah, and I like, it's just insane, bro. Like, just figured it out. And then I'm like, I realized something. There was 4 months in a row where I hit my goal for sales. I passed it. Damn. And I stopped and I thought, my goals aren't big enough. Like, I'm fucking hitting it. I'm fucking sleeping, walking through it.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I need bigger goals. So August of last year, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna swing hard. This is like, we're gonna swing on this shit. Did everything that we could. Our systems, you know, our marketing platforms, our sales streams, you know, we have different sales streams. You know, we have online, you know, we have events, you know, like an event where we'll bring a backdrop like this at LA Fit Expo, Anaheim Fit Expo. We'll do expos outside of the state. We have different ways of making money and making sales. Locked in on the most efficient ones and the ones that were accessible immediately. Like, what can we do today? Like, I'm not talking about 2 years from now. Like, we don't have a store, right? A brick and mortar store. So I'm not thinking, all right, well, let's go open a store. No, that's too fucking far away. That's too far out. Think of what you can do today. Focused on that. In August, we did well over 30K in revenue. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. Now, mind you, we run a lean machine. We run a very lean business. We don't have expenses that other businesses have. We don't have a brick and mortar store. We don't have a lot of employees. We don't have a lot of payroll. So our margins are pretty healthy. So now I knew this is a legit business and this is something that I know I can double year on out. So then we come back January of this year, boom, exploded as well. Had another record-breaking month. And it's just like, right now it's at the point where it's like, I know that we can get to 3 to 5 million a month in sales with this brand. I know it because I see other brands that aren't even as good as ours, and just with TikTok Shop alone, they're doing 3 million
TikTok
a month.
Is crazy, dude.
They're doing 3 million a month just with TikTok Shop alone. So it's like, dude, like I said earlier, why not us? Why not? What's the difference? They're on TikTok Shop, we're not. Okay, so let's get on TikTok Shop. Like, literally, that's how simple it is, you know? The formula is there, you know? You just gotta figure out what that formula means to you and how you can posture your business in the marketplace. Because the people are gonna spend money no matter what. You know, businesses, your potential clients, they're gonna spend whatever you're trying to ask, they're gonna spend it. They're either gonna give it to you or they're gonna give it to some company that's selling them some bullshit ass marketing, like some antiquated shit. Like, I've been pitched a lot of marketing, billboards. I've been pitched the TV ad at 24 Hour Fitness. I've been pitched that. I've been pitched so much, and I'm like, dude, I tell all of those guys, the ROAS ain't good enough. The moment I say that, they're like, oh shit, this guy knows what ROAS is. It's not even that crazy of a term, return on ad spend. Yeah. But they're like, oh fuck. And I'm like, yeah, dude, the ROI ain't checking out, bro. Like, the numbers don't check out. No thanks. But you go learning, like, what actually makes a difference. But if they don't give it to you, they're gonna give it to someone else, bro. Right. Whenever you have doubt, think like that. They're either gonna give it to Jerry or they're gonna give it to fucking what's a name that you hate, bro? Like, fucking give me like did you ever have like a fucking like douche person in fucking high school or some shit that's just like the biggest fucking dick ever? Like what's like a most a least likable name?
Least likable name, like Kyle or something.
Okay, if they don't give it to Jerry, they're gonna give it to Kyle, bro. I promise.
Kyle's ass.
Yeah, fucking Kyle sucks, bro. Come on. But it's gonna happen. I started viewing it like that with our products. People are gonna spend because we live in a consumer society.
Right.
Now, I'm consumer based, you're business to business based.
Oh.
Like what I'm saying is your consumer is businesses.
Oh, correct.
So the strategy is a little bit different, but it's all the same shit. You get me? But yeah, bro, pressure of having a kid will make you or break you. Just like I have right here, the city will make you or break you. It made me. And I've seen for a lot of others, it makes them too. That example that I gave, I've talked to people, and I have a handful of examples of people that 4x, 5x their businesses when they found out they were gonna have a kid. Because it just lights a fire in you that's like, all right, now you really can't fuck around. Like, you know, now it's like really like game time. You get serious, and it just works out, bro. Sometimes putting your back against the wall is the best thing you can do. So I'm not saying go have a kid.
No.
Definitely wait.
For sure.
Trust me. But you could have other type of commitments though that require and pull that out of you. You get me?
Yeah. I know I think as I was getting out of high school, the thing I didn't have was pressure. So I didn't have an urgency to build anything. I thought I just had all the time in the world.
Urgency. That's a great word, bro. Urgency.
Yeah.
Most people lack it. Most people lack the sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, bro, is you don't have all the time in the world. Just like I mentioned, you know, I posted today on my TikTok that time is a double-edged sword. It's either working for you or it's working against you, you know, and you get to dictate what side of that you're on, you know. And if you're not making progress towards your vision, then it's working against you. But if you're actually putting in work like the way that you are right now, it's working for you. Right. Now you just gotta let it do its thing, you know? Have you ever heard of the bamboo tree story?
No. Oh, I think, no, actually no.
So the bamboo tree essentially is, it takes 5 years to grow. For the first 4 years, you don't see shit. Soil, the bamboo's growing under, but it's barely growing. First 4 years. On the 5th year, it grows to be over 10 feet tall. This is like 8 by 8, so that's another 2 feet over that. On the 5th year, that's how much it grows. Success is like that as well. Most people quit in those first 4 years because they don't see that result, they don't see that progress, although they don't know what's cooking and what's brewing under the surface. Just like that, bro. So let time be your friend, bro. For sure, let time be your friend.
Damn. Yeah,
I think.
No, it's deep because yeah, everyone struggles with that faith in themselves, you know. And as I grow my confidence, I think faith is another thing that, you know, I struggle with. Especially.
Yeah, I feel that, bro.
Yeah.
It's a muscle. It's a muscle that you grow, but you have to lift. Like you have to lift it. You got to work it. You got to work it, bro. And you'll see, bro, that all the problems and challenges that you have right now are gonna be easy to you in like 2 years. But you're gonna have other things that you're gonna have to deal with.
Right.
But now you know, I'm gonna figure it out, bro. A year or two, I got it, bro. It's not a big deal, man. You're gonna be okay.
Damn. And then as you continue your endeavors in business and everything, where do you see yourself in like 10 years?
Oof, that's a.
What's a 10-year mark looking like? You could even dump it down to like 5, but
Yeah. So I started viewing business very differently. So people know business traditionally as you make sales, you have your expenses, the difference is your profit.
Right.
That's the traditional, most basic business formula, right? The biggest companies in the world are not doing business like that. They're doing acquisitions, they're conglomerates, they're buying businesses, they're buying companies, they're buying information, they're buying systems off of other companies. This is where it gets kind of like a mind fuck, bro. I don't want to get too like fucking wokey,
go for it, man.
too conspiracy.
Come on.
But there's a company called WeWork. Have you heard of it before?
WeWork, no.
So essentially it was a membership to an office space. So people like you, solopreneurs, or like people that are like independent, you know, lawyers, accountants, people that work on their own. You could pay for a membership and have access to an office 24/7. You could rent the conference room, you could have your own desk. It was a cool concept, you know. They just went BK a few months ago, ironically. But that company didn't break a profit ever for 10 years. They never turned a profit. They were bleeding at its peak 1.9 till 2 million, $2 million a day. They were losing.
That's crazy.
Losing $2 million a day. Now you say, how is that possible? Well, obviously they were able to secure a big investment. They raised a lot of money from big ass fucking companies that are venture capital companies. Essentially what happened was, at its peak, their biggest raise, the company was valued at 46 billion without making a single dollar. When I looked into that company, there's a show called We Crashed on Apple TV. Great show. I recommend anyone that likes business to watch it. When I saw that, I was mind fucked with how they were doing business different. And although that the founder and CEO is very controversial, he's weird. He's like a weirdo, but he's funny. Like, at least in the show, they make him seem funny. Yeah. Cause he's kind of one of those like kind of loopy guys, like that just like is like delusional. He's like hella delusional and shit. Like, he bought a private jet using the company's money. Wow. And he like justified it like on like legally on document. And when his board of directors questioned him, he's like, "What do you mean? Why the fuck did I buy a jet? Why the fuck wouldn't I buy a jet?" Like, he's like hella just like delusional. Right. He was able to walk away with about $1 billion in exit because they wanted him out.
Single profit.
Without making a single profit.
Wow.
So now he's in lawsuits right now. They're going after that guy. But the point I'm trying to make is that it made me realize that there's different ways to play this game. And that's just a way different way that at this lower level, like normal, like consumer level, unless you're like a 1% individual, you don't know about that. We never get taught about that. Right. So I started really thinking like, dude, I need to frame my life around what it is that I want, my purpose, and I don't ever want to be attached to any place or any specific company. So I love the brand that I built from scratch, Tank Athletic, from an idea to my head to now be a multiple six-figure business, soon to be a 7-figure business, and after that, very soon to be an 8-figure business. Like, that I know of as fact. Like, I've built it from the ground up. It's not my life because I feel like I was destined for more beyond that. Right. I don't believe in retirement at all. I'm gonna work towards my purpose till the day that I die. And my ultimate goal is to help people, and more specifically to help boys that grew up without fathers, more specifically to help out single mothers that need guidance, and then more specifically to help out businesses, because I think that God gave me a gift of understanding the machine, like I said. You know, I've been in the business world for 9 years, and I'm only 27. Wow. So, you know, it's been a crazy ride. But like, I can see things from angles that it's like a skill to me. The way that some people have like art comes naturally to them. Like, you have people that are like really good at like graffiti and like drawing. It comes naturally to them. Business comes naturally to me.
Now, notice that. I remember off camera, I was telling you about, you know, my first time finding a client, and you were already like, "Hey, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something that you're doing wrong?" And I was like, "All right, damn." You know, and it's cool. It's cool that you see those angles that like immediately. Yeah. And I'm over here trying to think like, wait, what are you seeing? Like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about experience, and it's like an athlete that never retires. Like I told you, actual athletes, they have a time clock, and then it's done. Business athletes like us, till the day we die, it's just stacking experience. You should make more money every year. Your business should grow every year. If it doesn't, I understand, you know, economic downfall, you know, you might have a year or two where it's like a step back, but for the most part, people should be making progress, you know? So that's ultimately what I want to do. I very recently started doing some business coaching, very selective. I don't like taking on clients because I only like to do it. One, I don't have a lot of time because this takes everything, but I do squeeze out a couple hours a week just to help others that I think I can really help. Like, I will only take on a client, a business coaching client, if I feel like I genuinely could save them like a year or two. And it's happened time and time again. And I've saved so many young entrepreneurs from just like stupid head bumps or roadblocks that are like, I would have done, and I did, and I could see it. But you know, the lack of experience doesn't let you see it because it blinds you. So I'm just like, yo, bro, go around that pole because you're about to get whacked in the face. Don't do this. Why would you get a lease for $2,000 if right now you're only doing $2,000 in sales? The numbers don't check out. Why don't you do this instead? Why don't you be as lean as possible? Why don't you invest this? Oh, someone offered you this service. What's the ROI? Do the numbers check out? How sustainable is this? Is there a way out? Is there an exit?
This is insane.
Just like so many ways that you really have to think through decisions in business. So ultimately I want to be a business coach as well. A very selective one that doesn't just open up to anyone. It's like very, very like exclusive, like not exclusive like in like a douchey way, but just like exclusive like where it's like a legit like coach. Like I don't want to be like a guru or someone that just fucking sells a course and makes millions off of people and they feel like they got scammed with the one size fits all type of deal.
Yeah.
No, I want to actually go in there and help people get results at the end of the day, you know? So I want to do that. I want to do a lot of shit, bro. Honestly, I want to travel the world. I want to really like get in tune with my faith and my spirit, and I want to see the world, man. I want to see history. I love history. I love seeing where people walked. I love learning about how it was in the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, because there's some things about today's society that I can't stand. Today's world, there's some things that I can't stand.
Right.
And I sometimes get this like nostalgic like feeling like I wish I grew up like in the 80s or like the 90s, because then I wouldn't have to deal with this. But if I didn't have to deal with this, I'm also not naive enough to know that there would have been other bullshit that I would have to deal with that we don't have to deal with today. So, you know, there's bullshit in everything.
Yeah, of course.
But sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but yeah, that's overall like Tank Athletic is definitely not my end game. It's just a really big part of my life right now. It's something that has shaped me and molded me, and I'm just like really grateful that it landed on me. It landed on my lap like a miracle, and it's just like, you know, preparation and opportunity met, and I just fucking ran with it, bro. And here we are, you know.
It's inspiring, dude. It's
Thank
cool.
you.
It's cool. It's cool. Going back to the world we are today and looking back at nostalgia, I had a whole week of watching old like war movies.
Okay.
And you know, I guess in today's society, everyone's a little soft, I would say.
Definitely.
So, you know, if I would wake up at 4 in the morning and be like, oh, this is too hard, I go on the run, this is difficult, whatever. And then I watch these war movies of these guys, these heroes, and it's like, damn, that's like a whole different type of struggle.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't even handle waking up willingly with no responsibility, just running.
Yeah.
Right? These guys had to wake up, or not even no sleep, and go to war.
Yeah.
So I kind of,
Yeah.
there's a part of me that wants to go back, and I was like, no, that's war. That's terrible.
Well, that's because you feel the pull, you feel that masculine like pull.
Yeah.
Like these motherfuckers were over here fucking fighting with bayonets and shit, like fucking stepping on landmines and shit, and like us in today's society, we're scared to go door knock.
Yeah, exactly.
You get me? Like it's like the difference is insane. Once you overcome that, because you're definitely thinking the right way. I would think the same way. You start realizing how shit's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Like it's really not a big deal if you go sell someone something and they reject you. Like, oh, fucking big whoop, bro. Like it's not gonna kill you. You know, that's all I always say, bro. You're gonna be okay. That's like one of my favorite sayings that I would tell myself forever, and I was right. You know, so I always pass that on to others. Like, bro, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out. Just don't quit. Don't do anything stupid. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah, there's this word or a phrase the Stoics would use, memento mori. You know what it means?
Yeah, you're gonna die, right? Yeah, we're all gonna die.
It's always like a reminder, hey, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So whatever you be doing, remind yourself of that and just do your best.
Absolutely, man.
It's cool, man.
Factual.
Damn. I mean, yeah. Any questions or any topics you want to go through?
No, this is fun, bro. Like I told you off camera, I'm happy for you. I really like the content that you've been shooting. I like the transparency. Transparency is important because there's a lot of bullshit out there today, and a lot of people with your skills would be hella capping, bro. Right now, they would hella be saying some dumb shit online, and I like the fact that you're honest about it and that you're open to being vulnerable. You're open to accepting that it's not easy, because the real entrepreneurs are gonna respect that about you, bro. They're really gonna respect that because they're gonna remember the days, just like I did. You know, so I see your guys' videos, and I'm like, I remember feeling exactly how he feels right now. You know, like it's almost like I'm kind of happy that it's not coming to you easily, because I know it's better like that. It's better that it doesn't come to you right away, because the reward isn't the destination, it's the journey. The reward is always going to be who you become. So I'm looking at like the shit that you tell me, and I'm like, good. Like you tell me like, oh,
you're struggling, you're like, good, bro.
Like you're telling me like, damn, like, you know, I want to do this and that, but it's been hard. I'm like, good. because like you're like in boot camp right now. Like you're going through that filter phase. Like,
Right.
like I told you earlier, most people would have bitched out by now. So every month that goes on that you're still going at it is a month that you're getting closer. And you start to see your sidelines, people that are next to you, people that are in the same industry as you, that are doing something like, you know, similar, and kind of like in your head, you're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking beat you. But you know, you're cool with them, whatever. You start seeing them drop one by one, one by one, one by one. And you're just like, damn. And next thing you know, you're the only one standing. You know, that's how I feel in some ways. There's very few people that I came up with in the business world that are still there. Most of them fucking quit. And I see a lot of them, and you know, I wish them the best, and a lot of them will reach out to me and they'll tell me their fucking excuses. They'll tell, oh, you know, I would have done this if it wasn't for that. I would have done that if it wasn't for this. And it's just like, hey, bro, you know, excuses, we all have them, you know, but the difference is people that actually do shit in this world and people that let the excuses take them over.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I wish you the best with what you're doing, bro. You know, you can always count on me if you need any feedback, any advice, anything, bro. And keep at it, man. Keep at it. That's what our brand represents, bro. That's what, you know, if you see all these sayings right here, you know, it's a culture of winning. If you're not first, you're last. You know, the city will make you or break you. Chosen. You know, I've lost my mind doing this. That was my favorite drop up to date so far, because this drop right here was inspired by a quote that Conor McGregor said once. And he was pretty much talking about how he lost. He quoted Vincent van Gogh. It's a quote of a quote. So it's Conor McGregor quoting Vincent van Gogh. And he says, he's lost his mind like Vincent van Gogh, dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me. But fuck it. When my kids have everything they've ever wanted, my wife has a car for every day of the week, and my mom has a house as big as she ever wants, then it'll be worth it. Then I'll be happy I've lost my mind. And I resonate to that so much, because you do lose your fucking mind doing this shit. Like, look at me, bro. Like, everything we talked about, like, I am fucking crazy, bro. Shit. Like, you know, like, it's part of it. You lose your damn mind, but it's so beautiful and it's so rewarding. And like you mentioned, that euphoria and that adrenaline and feeling so alive, that shit's gonna kill you in a beautiful way. And you're gonna look back. And my biggest thing is, you wanna be able to be on your deathbed the day that it's getting close to check out, and you wanna be able to look back and say, damn, like I really fucking, I rode that shit, bro. Like I drove this ATV till the wheels fell off. Like, what a ride. Like, I have no regrets. Like, I turned every stone that I can turn. I knocked on every door that I can knock on. I know I can rest now, knowing that I gave it my all. That should always be the goal. And I know someone like you is gonna get there, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely, man. So if you have any other questions, bro, or anything else, appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah, man. Let me think.
Yeah. Go ahead. You could cut out that little part.
I guess, yeah. What's some advice for the people at home watching through the screen? Just life, you know?
Life or business, or one of each?
I'll say one of each.
All right. Business. Don't ignore that calling that you feel. If you feel like you want to be your own boss, you don't like working for others, you're sick of having a job, you're sick of having a manager, you're sick of people telling you when you could take a fucking piss and when you could go on your lunch break and what day you can have off. If you genuinely feel that rage inside of your fucking belly, don't ignore it and figure it out, because it's there for a reason. I felt that. We've all felt it before. The difference is some people ignore it and some people take it on. So, you know, right there it says chosen. I believe you're feeling that for a reason. So, you know, if you're feeling that, accept it, embrace it, and run with it. That's what I would say, business. Later on, we'll talk about other shit, you know, because, you know, just like I was telling him, like those first 2 years, survival, you know, but first is accepting that you're going to jump in the pool, you know. It's like jumping in a cold pool without knowing how to swim. So, and then life, you know, just always be true to yourself, always follow your heart, always do what it is that you genuinely want to do. You know, take feedback from people that you respect, take feedback from people that have the best interest out for you. And at the end of the day, make your decisions and live with them, whether they're the right decisions or the wrong decisions. You know, make your move and be bold with it. And whatever happens, let the chips fall where they may. And I'm confident that voting on yourself will always pay off on the other side, and you'll be happy with it.
It's perfect, man. It's perfect.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yo, thank you, bro.
Woo!
That's right. All right. Yeah.